Just for a moment, because I will play some part of former President Olusegun Obasanjo's views about the movement. But let me quickly ask you before we go on this break and come back to continue the conversation, Mr. Kotitadeba. You've studied the politics of many nations, especially federal states such as Nigeria. With what we're seeing in the run-up to 2019, where it almost like a right of a sitting government or president to seek re-election, the kind of maneuverings that we are seeing today, is it usual, is it normal?
I think it's absolutely unusual. Look, what are the stipulations of our constitution and democratic practice? It is that the president can exercise the right to run for second term. All right? And democracy is not about some few people saying you cannot run. Now, if I heard Mr. Shintoku very well, he made the point that one of the disqualifying factors is the fact that the president is sick. All right?
Was sick.
Now, was sick. I mean, even if we agree,
and he's well now.
Even if we agree that was a factor, why then they use it as a campaign issue against the president? Why ask him not to seek re-election at all? If this president is so unqualified, if this president has performed so abysmally low that he does not deserve a second term, why don't you allow him to face the electorate outside there and let them decide his fate?
All right.
What is all this, you know, this movement about saying he has to dismount?
Okay.
Talking about...
Just a moment. We need to take a pause. But up next on the program, it's an advice to run and advice not to run. But it remains a suspense whether President Buhari will seek re-election. We dissect that when we return. Welcome back, everyone. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Daura, his home state, home country in Katsina State. Today, he met with members of Katsina's Elders Forum at his private residence in Daura. The President Buhari also met with the mayor of Marandun in Zamfara, Alhaji Garba Muhammad Tambari. But there is a meeting that is likely to be more political than personal. During the past week, the president received governors from his party, APC. Some of those governors at some points declared their support for the president. Well, let's continue the conversation. On the panel tonight on the program is a former presidential advisor and a spokesperson of the Coalition for Nigeria Movement, Mr. Akin Oshintokun, a lawyer and a political analyst, Mr. Curtis Adigba, and also the former national chairman of YDP and the DG of Nigeria Force Group, Mr. Inya Etok Ezekiel. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts on the program. Before we went on that break, you were on a line of thought about whether or not what we are seeing today is normal or unusual.
Look, it is unusual to the point that the only strategy by the coalition for defeating this president is for him not to run at all. But it is usual that you will have people who will urge the president to run as if their lives depend on it. All right? And it's also usual to find people to ask him not to run. And this is about democracy. But what I don't understand, you know, is this vehement kind of attitude that says, look, the only way this president will show that he's a statesman or preserve his legacy is not to run at all. And I think that is not democratic.